we also know it's worth it. That's why we keep it local.
I want to thank my guests, Paul Rudd, Rafa Nadal, everybody. Remember YouTube for brand new corrections. We just posted. Thanks for watching, everybody. We love you.
NBC4 News at 11 starts with breaking news.
A trail of destruction and devastation along the Himalayan border tonight. At least 160 people are dead. Hundreds more are missing, including Americans, following flash flooding in Nepal. Surveillance video shows the sheer force of the mud and water as it slammed into communities. People struggled to outrun the torrent of water and mud. Drone video shows the impact. Officials in Nepal say many of the victims are from India on a pilgrimage to Mount Kailash in Tibet, a sacred site for Hindus. Both Nepal and China are now scrambling to send rescue teams. We will have much more on that deadly flooding in just a moment. But first, we are tracking sweltering, dangerous heat once again tonight here in Southern California. You're looking live from Universal City this evening, and it's not just triple-digit temperatures. We will soon feel even more humidity. Meteorologist David Bigger is tracking the changes. David.
Yeah, and Carolyn, tomorrow we're looking at what I would consider a very weird weather day. And the reason why is because we've got a combination of lots of things. We've got hot weather. We've got plenty of humidity. In fact, it's going to be downright muggy in many spots, not only tonight, but for tomorrow as well. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies, though, at times. And we even have a chance of maybe getting some rainfall or even a rumble of thunder. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening with all of this. You can see as we take a look at satellite and radar, we've had a little bit of a disturbance coming up out of the south. It did fire some lightning around San Diego County into parts of Riverside County. That's now moving off to the east, but there has been some specks of green with that. And if you look off the coastline, you'll see tons of cloud cover coming into the region from what was Tropical Storm Isel. All of this cloud cover is starting to stream into the area right now. That is going to keep some of the temperatures warm overnight. But the main thing I want you to take away from seeing all this cloud cover come in, this is all tropical moisture that's going to just push that humidity higher. So here's what we're looking at with the current temperatures outside, because it is still very hot and muggy. We're looking at 89 in Van Nuys right now, 83 degrees around West Covina, 87 degrees in Riverside and Hemet, and we've got the mid 80s around Santa Clarita up through the high desert, and the upper 80s currently around San Bernardino. Now, as we go through the next couple of hours, as I mentioned, that tropical moisture is arriving, and there's a chance we might get some showers from that. I've got details on that coming up in a couple of minutes. Back to you.
We'll see you then, David. Darsha Phillips continues our coverage now of this extreme heat from Playa del Rey. And Darsha, a lot of people don't have air conditioning because they usually don't need it there.
Yeah, Carolyn, that's right. A lot of the homes that you see behind me along the coast, they don't have air conditioning because usually they can just open up their windows and let the ocean breeze in. That is not what is happening right now. We are feeling the humidity here on the coast and really everywhere along Southern California.
The beach is where many go to seek relief from the heat, but those who live on the coast are dealing with the humidity.
Yeah, we feel it.
Yeah, we feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely more humid for sure, and I'm not a fan of humidity.
Many on the coast, like Karen George, don't have air conditioning, usually relying on the nighttime ocean breeze to cool down their home. But during this sweltering heat wave, that's just not happening on the coast or really anywhere in Southern California.
It will probably not drop below 70 degrees almost anywhere in Southern California at any point for several consecutive days.
Climate scientist Daniel Swain spoke about the extreme heat and humidity in Southern California on his YouTube channel, saying climate change is partly to blame for these hot nights.
That it is getting hotter out there, and that we've seen it this summer. This summer has been an exceptionally warm overnight. So we've seen overnight temperatures that have been about as elevated as they've ever been. The water temperatures off the coast of Southern California are so warm, so anomalously warm, that actually this year it doesn't really matter where the wind is coming from. It's a pretty humid breeze.
He says elevated nighttime temperatures can be dangerous.
It becomes genuinely difficult, even if you're perfectly well hydrated, to cool your internal body temperature via sweating. And that's, of course, where it becomes dangerous.
Access to air conditioning is important, but not always realistic for many.
Yeah, I'm concerned. Yeah, this is not normal.
Others worry about how hot and humid it will get next summer and the summers after.
Well, I feel like we're helpless to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Other than doing what we normally do, which is recycle and conserve and, do what we're supposed to do.
And LA County does have several cooling centers open for those who do not have access to air conditioning. You can also go to your local malls or local libraries. Live in Playa del Rey tonight, I'm Darsha Phillips, NBC4 News.
Darsha, thank you. And stay with us. As the weather changes, you can scan the QR code on your screen to get access to our First Alert network. You'll be able to track the forecast in your area. Now back to the wreckage and destruction in Nepal, where survivors are wading in thick mud, struggling to get to safety. This woman was rescued in a tractor. It's believed an avalanche caused the torrent of water and mud to slam into this region. NBC4's Tracy Leong is live in Pasadena, where members of the Nepali community are devastated. Tracy.
Yeah, Carolyn, some of the people we spoke to with loved ones in Nepal say they've been unable to get in touch with them because of the widespread damage. We do want to warn you, some of these images may be disturbing.
A wall of muddy water and debris came roaring down the steep mountain valleys of northern Nepal Wednesday morning, wiping out bridges, sweeping away buildings, and destroying everything in its path.
We are heartbroken and devastated by what is unfolding at this time, and we don't know the extent of the damage.
The immediate past president of the Sri Pashupatinath Foundation in Norwalk, Rameshwar Bandari, says their temple community is praying for those affected by the disaster and staying in close contact with friends and family in Nepal. But the widespread damage to the region's infrastructure is making it challenging to reach people.
I have friends who have been impacted by this. They have lost their lost communication with their family members, and whole Nepali community in Southern California or all over the United States and Canada. They're talking about how we can help.
The catastrophic flash flood happened near the Nepal-Tibet border, a popular area for tourists. People could be seen running, trying to escape the fast-moving floodwaters as they overtook the area. Officials say at least 162 people have been killed, and hundreds more are still unaccounted for, including Americans.
As far as my friends who normally involved in the tourism, they work in Tamil. I try to reach them, but some of the friends I cannot contact with them.
Razan Adsakari, the owner of the restaurant Tibet Nepal House in Pasadena, says he's grateful his loved ones are okay, but he's concerned for his friends with family members still missing. Climate experts say an avalanche from a glacier most likely caused Wednesday's flash flood that unfolded at a terrifying speed.
They never expect that one. That's why the huge casualties there. They never expect that one.
Officials say the full extent of the damage is still being assessed as rescue crews work to access the more remote areas. They do expect the number of casualties to rise. The Nepali temple in Norwalk is planning to hold a vigil this Saturday. Reporting live in Pasadena, Tracy Leong, NBC4 News.
Tracy, thank you. Criminal proceedings against a woman accused of scamming people through dating apps have been suspended. At a pretrial hearing today, the defense raised questions about the mental competency of 29-year-old Adva Levy. She's also known by the name Mia Ventura and is accused of stealing from wealthy men and some women across LA County. She's also facing similar charges in Riverside County. Levy is set to appear in court again next month. The family feud over the Lakers is back in court. Jeannie Buss wants to block her siblings from selling the family's remaining stake in the team. Mario Solis is here to break it down for us. Mario.
Carolyn, it's a legal mess and there is no end in sight. The Buss siblings are fighting again, and now they need the court system to help figure some things out. Jeannie is challenging her 5 siblings who voted last week to sell the Buss's remaining stake in the franchise, claiming it's in the family's best interest to maintain control and to benefit from the skyrocketing value. On top of that, Jeannie wants her siblings Janie and Joey removed as co-trustees of the family trust. All 5 siblings reportedly voted to tag along to majority owner Mark Walter's sale to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger at $12.5 billion. Genie did not. The filing also claims Joey Buss signed his vote to sell the family shares one day before it was reported that Mark Walter agreed to sell the team, and that Walter did not officially